Hello and welcome to week 22 of Project 52, in which we are trying to produce 52 tracks in 2025. So let's make the next one. Okay, so once again, I have already done a little bit in the project, and I will first show you what I've done so far, and then we'll move forward into producing the rest of the track. Let's maybe start from the drums. Everything is quite dark, as you can hear soon with the other elements as well. I think we need to bring up the highs at some point, otherwise it's going to be too dark of a track, but let's see. So as for the drums, we have the kick drum. Then we have the shaker that is actually made mainly with SSF. So we have kind of this, let me just disable SSF so you can hear how it sounds like without it. But then what SSF is doing is it's just adding some more randomness into the volume automation of the playing. So it sounds a bit more organic when SSF is doing this very random looking volume curve as we have here. So let's just have a listen to the difference. Let me first play without SSF and then I'll just enable it so you hear it more clearly. It's also quieter with SSF because the volume is not going all the way up, as you can see here, but it just gives a bit more movement into the playing. So then we have this tabla. I think this is some sort of Indian percussion instrument. So I just found this loop and then cut it down into these sections, and this is how it sounds like. It's also being sidechained by the kick drum. And then we just have some various different types of single hits and foily and just a bit of ear candy in addition to the main elements. All right, so next up is the bass, which sounds like this. This is just a Pigments preset that I thought was kind of cool sounding, so I just used that. All right, then we have the green group, which is called Leads, for the lack of better name. The first one is this very cool Pigments preset that I found, and it's an arpeggio, but I don't use it quite as an arpeggio. Okay, let me explain. I have a very different sounding MIDI first, then I just tried out different presets, and then I found this one, and with the MIDI that I used, it sounded kind of weird and cool and different. So then I just embraced the accidental thing that I found and made a new MIDI out of that idea. And this is how this one sounds like. I think that's super cool and kind of mystical or magical. I don't know how to describe it. Then we have this is actually probably the only sound so far that I have made myself. I'm a preset junkie. So this is just a background pad. It doesn't sound like much without the context, but I promise you'll hear the full track so far soon, so then it makes sense why it's so static. Then we have some chords that I did like 10 minutes ago. This is a preset from Analog Lab, and apparently it's from OPXA. And then I have just some crackles and pops and noise in the background to just fill everything up. With all those elements, the track so far for week 22 sounds like this. This is already kind of a work in progress, so this is where we are going to continue today. Alright, so let's jump into trying to produce the rest of the track. The first thing I thought, we could try to continue these chords here. I don't know in what way yet, but maybe some simple chords that wouldn't be so fast as they are in the intro here. But maybe rather would hang out for a little while longer for each chord, if that makes sense. So let's try to come up with something. Why do we have this kind of transient in the beginning? I don't like it that much. It's a bit weird. I want to get rid of it. Maybe it doesn't matter. Let's just try to come up with the chords first. Oh, that's so annoying. We could maybe change the sound altogether. It's not my favorite, so why not get rid of the transient by just using another sound. Then I'm thinking of a cool bass hit or screech, growl, whatever you want to call it, into a new section that has something new again. I don't know yet what it would be, but let's try to think of that next. And by the way, I do have this one sound that I made in Faceplant because I was starting to feel ashamed of not making any sounds myself. So I made this one sound which sounds like this. And I would like to use this somewhere, but I don't know where. So let's try to find a place for this as well. Maybe some sort of drum fill into the drop. In this case, I wouldn't call it a drop as in electronic music, but something similar. I have for sure used this one in some of the previous tracks that we've made, but nobody knows. I mean, you know now, because I told you, but don't tell anyone. Let's make the leads quiet when the drum fill comes in, or maybe at the very end where the tom-tom plays. Is it a tom-tom? Or is it just a tom? Maybe it's just a tom. Tom-tom sounds funnier though, so I'm gonna call it a tom-tom. Okay, so I mentioned some sort of bass hit or a bass sound or something, and I have no idea of what it could be. So I'm gonna spend approximately the next 5 hours of trying to design it. Well, I hope not. But I'm gonna try to design it first myself, and let's see what we can come up with. We could add some amplitude modulation, I guess. Alright, so it hasn't been quite 5 hours yet, but it has been like 20 minutes already. So I don't want to work much longer on this. Like, I still don't understand how people do sound design. Like, if you have an idea like this, like you want some sort of bass hit at the start of the section, how do you because I know that I want a bass hit, but I don't have like the exact sound in my head. Like, I want it to go like, but I just want some sort of, something in there. And if you just start to design aimlessly like anything and everything, you like never, maybe you can find something interesting like every 1 in 10 times or something like that, but it doesn't help in making progress in the track. Okay, so I have been sound designing for 30 minutes maybe, and I haven't yet listened to the sound in the track. So let's do that now, together. Let's have a listen if I've spent the time all for nothing. Probably I have, but let's find out. So there you have it. This is once again one of my classic moves in music production, to spend time on things that don't matter. So let's do something else next. I guess I'm trying to now forget my frustration by overproducing the drums, but let's just see how it goes. Maybe we could use the sound that I made in Faceplant here, the one that we haven't used yet and I would like to use somewhere. It probably doesn't fit, but let's try. I have no idea what I'm doing with the track at the moment. I'm just recording everything that sounds cool. I hope this works. I feel like I'm just doing these separate sections and not making a full track. I should listen to the track from the beginning, but I'll do that next. I'll add one more, some sort of shaker or something for the drums. Okay, so next I'll listen to the track in full as it is so far and try to get a better understanding of what we should do next, because at the moment I'm just doing things that might sound cool in isolation, but they might sound terrible in the context of all the other elements. For example, there you notice that the piano doesn't work at all, like at all. So it's way too bright, it's way too loud, it's way too everything. So I don't know if we can use it there. Oh, I feel so stuck. I really don't know what to do this week. Okay, so this type of section might not work in the track, so let's not force it. Let's try something else. So are we going to be lazy this week and just leave it like this? With this arrangement, it will be just over 2 minutes long, so not that long at all. We could double this part and also this part here, so we could get some more length to it. Let's try that. Maybe that'll work and get us a slightly more full sounding arrangement, because right now it's just moving a bit too fast in my opinion. So would it be like this, or go 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 go? Okay, move you there. This is a weird arrangement, like you have an intro and then you have this sort of quiet section, and then like I don't know what this even is. What can we do to keep it interesting? It isn't too interesting at the moment. I think it's more interesting now, but it's still not the best. But I think that could be pretty much it. I know it's so raw, and there's still, or there would be a lot to do if I would care to do all those things. Like for example, I think I have to add some more effects, like that's a must, but that shouldn't be too big of a deal. And also I need to do the mixing way better. Like for example, you can see here that we just don't have enough high end. Also the mids are like, we only have bass. Because tomorrow I am not at home that much and I don't have a lot of time to film, I think I'm going to end this week's video here. I still need to work on the track production wise, but I will do that off camera because it's like not anything major and nothing like we have been doing today that is like the production of the main elements of the whole track, if it makes any sense. Like I'm just gonna tweak some details and do the mixing and, as I said, maybe add some effects, and that should be it for the production. Alright, so as I said, that's going to be it for this week's video. Sorry if it didn't have a lot of production content. Like I was kind of just copying and pasting the existing elements, but I hope it was still entertaining and maybe you even learned something. I don't know if you can learn anything from these videos, but I hope it was entertaining at least. If you'd be interested in joining the challenge of producing 52 tracks in 1 year, you can follow the link in the description, which will take you to the 6Sample Discord server. And there we have a Project 52 text channel, and each week we share the tracks and give feedback to others. So that's fun. Please do join us if you would be interested in that. We would love to have you on the server. Please also subscribe to the channel if you are interested in seeing the future videos that I will be releasing every Wednesday throughout the year. And like the video if you enjoyed it. That means a lot to me. So probably tomorrow or the day after that I will do the mixing and the rest of the production, and the track should be finished. And now I will play you the finished piece. I don't yet know what it's going to sound like, but you will in just a couple of seconds. So here it is. I hope you like it. And also I hope to see you next week for week 23. We are closing in on the magical 26th week, which is the halfway point. So I can't wait for that. Okay, that's it for this week. See you next time. Bye bye.